Miguel has COVID, like that, straight up raw.
But that doesn't stop
Newsflash.
me, right? Yes, exactly. We are diving into the news. This is the first news, and but the show must go on, man. I am day 4 of the COVID Chronicles, and I'm better though. Today's the fucking best day, and I was actually just thinking, Ches, you're the only one who hasn't gotten COVID, right? Out of us,
Ches was the original COVID. He's patient 0.
I had no. I mean, I had COVID like during the OG lockdown because like my family was mad reckless and shit. So like people were going outside and shit. So I had like the original COVID, and then I got vaccinated. So I have that like super shit.
Fuck. But you got the OG COVID though, man. Fuck, man. Because like
uncut, raw, ignorant, straight up,
right?
Level COVID.
Yeah, because Rod, you got the
Bronx variant. If you have the regular COVID, the Bronx variant goes into you and fucks up that COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
And fucks you up even more. Yeah, I think I had the Omicron. I don't know.
Right. And I had then the variant of the Omicron variant, which is like fucking stupid. Like, how do the variants have variants now? No, it's like the Omicron BA2, whatever. Like,
some Loki shit.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
For real.
And multiverse COVID.
Fuck. Damn, multiversal COVID. Fuck, that's crazy. And on top of that, just a quick side note. I smoked weed the entire time I had COVID. Just want people to know that.
It's funny, I took a break. I actually took a break when I had COVID.
I did not
the opposite.
Take a break.
I didn't have access. It was
nah. Yeah, I'm taking a break. I wanted to have my drink like I always do while we record.
So what does the science tell us then? Look at that. Exactly.
See what?
Exactly.
Legit tea. Herbal tea. I mean, not even caffeine or anything like that. Just
herbal.
All right, and obviously, just first before we
herbs, bring your herbal tea.
And welcome back, everybody. Obviously, this is the Legion on Zoom, as always. Just to remind everybody, this is Miguel, the one with COVID this time, the last one to get COVID, and joined with my Legionnaires. As always, we got Rod and we got Ches.
Word peeps.
Hell yes. We're looking forward to we got a packed show episode today. No, we're gonna dive into the news. We haven't talked about in the news in a minute, and then we're gonna do some good old-fashioned LoZ reviews, focusing on Moon Knight, and Rod's gonna give us his review of Morbius.
Words.
Thoughts.
Yeah, because so far he's the only one that's seen it. We're working on it. It's not exactly a priority.
Word. COVID got in the way because Ches and I were gonna go watch it this week, but then I got fucking sick. But then I was thinking, right, like, pretty sure the theater's empty, so I could probably go as long as Ches and I are 6 feet apart.
Because you gotta isolate yourself, right? What better place than Morbius?
Yeah. Full disclosure, just knowing, like the fact that you're vaccinated and you're a healthy male, whatever. The fact that you got COVID, I was kind of happy that it stopped us from going to see Morbius. So when you told me like you got COVID, I was like, yes. Because like I knew you were gonna
want to see Morbius.
No, I don't want to see, but like us being who we are, i.e., the Legion, we have
why don't you want to see Morbius?
Damn, because like all right. I usually don't get into the whole back and forth when it comes to like reviews and shit, because when it comes to comics, they're at extremes. They're either really, really good or like really, really bad, which is rare. And then there's some room in the middle. But this is like, damn, like, universal consensus. Not planetary, not galactic. Universal consensus so far is that it sucks.
Okay, so we're going to do the review later, but
right.
A little, my 2 cents in the beginning. It's not as bad as people are making it seem. And watching this, there are a couple of terrible movies that I never saw. Josh Trank's Fantastic Four, Catwoman. I saw clips of it, Elektra, saw clips of it, didn't really watch the whole movie. Seeing this encouraged me to go back and watch those movies. So I saw Fantastic Four. I saw the New Mutants as well. And I started Catwoman, but could not finish that shit. It's an unintentional comedy. So if you were looking for laughs, then go see it, because you're going to fucking, it's ridiculous. It's silly. But yeah, Morbius is better than all those movies. But yeah, I'll save it.
All right, save it. And
dude, I still have not fucking seen what's his name, Josh Trank's Fantastic Four. I've been so curious about that shit, but it's like I'm curious, but I'm also so fucking scared, and it's right there to watch.
Facts. No, but
Michael B. Jordan's in it.
Facts. See, like he pulls
It
me
might
in,
be
but
his
then
first
like,
foray into the superhero genre.
was it really?
was it?
Oh, he was in Chronicle. I guess that
Yeah,
counts.
no, he was in Chronicle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
counts.
yeah, that counts. Come on, that counts.
That counts. Really?
Yeah,
Was that a comic?
But it's not a comic book movie, but it's a superhero movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sort
Was
of.
it a
super
superhero movie?
villain.
I mean, like,
it's a super
was-
villain movie.
Right.
but is it of like this realm of comics, like the Fantastic Four? Was it from like a graphic novel or anything? Or was it like straight up like on film original?
Damn.
I thought it was original. I remember looking that up a while back, and if I remember correctly, it was an original. But I am sick with COVID, so I could be wrong. So I don't know. I'm gonna blame
Facts.
any mistakes. If I say anything racist or sexist, it's fucking COVID. All right, just because I'm sick.
I respect
All right.
that.
We're not gonna spend time reviewing it. It's terrible, but given the whole multiverse shit that's happening, people would be happy to see that Reed Richards again. I think so. Even though the movie was terrible, it's just the nostalgia and the tying it all together. It's just what's popping right now, straight up.
Straight up. Yeah, no, and yeah, I think we should maybe take advantage that you just saw it recently, Rod. I would be down to rewatch it just for the show, and then Ches hasn't seen it, and so for us to do a proper review of the shitty Fantastic Four movie.
I think we should do an episode where we review all the shittiest movies.
I'm with it.
Just all the shit. It'd be like the shit
I'm
episode.
with it.
Fuck.
I'm with it. But yeah, but before we go into the reviewing of the stuff,
that was
right?
live COVID that you folks just heard being
Yeah.
thrown into the air.
And who knows, you may have it now because of it. You know, the
Damn.
fucking thing changes all the
Fuck.
time. It went through Zoom into fucking your ears
Is
right now.
some cable techno-organic aerosol
Yeah, that's how it
virus.
starts.
Yo, some fucking diseased, right? The deceased, right? Tom Taylor shit. Yeah.
Not fucking with you.
But before we go into that, and speaking of intense shitty movies, right? Well, actually one of the first in the news things to mention is that people have been talking quite crap about method acting, specifically because of Jared Leto's approach to method acting in Morbius and other movies. And so for those out there who may not know what method acting is, it really is when an actor stays as the character 24/7 throughout the whole filming of the movie, even right before and after, because the actor says it helps them really get in the role, and it sounds extreme, but apparently Jared Leto's a fan of it, and there was issues on the set of Morbius for him being as a method actor. Like one of the biggest issues apparently that his approach, because as we'll hear more of when Rod talks about the movie, he's in crutches, Michael Morbius, right? And that he was in actual crutches the whole fucking time. And whenever he needed to go to the bathroom, he would go in crutches and would lead the 45-minute breaks, delaying the filming
That is
on
such
set.
a dick move. That is such a
People
dick
were
move.
pissed.
And I mean, shit. He did even worse on the set of Suicide Squad when he was cast as the Joker. I think he sent who's playing Harley Quinn,
Margot Robbie.
Yeah,
Margot
Robbie. He sent her like a dead rat or some shit, or like a pet rat with a bunch of condoms, some shit like that. He sent who plays Amanda Waller?
He sent Margot Robbie
Viola
a rat.
Davis.
Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah, and wait, who was it, Rod?
Viola Davis, right?
Yeah, Viola Davis. He sent her like a giant pig carcass or some shit. Like, come on, dude. Like, nah.
Yes,
Like,
I'm actually looking. So there's the website that's like 5 times Jared Leto took method acting too far.
Exactly.
And then another one was that Jared Leto admitted to sending anal beads, used condoms, and other gifts to other Suicide Squad cast
See?
members, in addition to
That's
the rat.
Wild.
Like,
Like,
bien,
bro, you
pues.
fucking- And I mean, but I think it depends, like, on who's the method actor. Because look at Christian Bale. Shit. I mean, listen, man. The only reason he freaked out like that was because he was John fucking Connor. All right, that dude is under a lot of pressure, and if somebody gets
Oh yeah,
in your
the
way,
meltdown.
you're gonna freak the. He was John Connor. That's stressful.
I never saw that movie.
Me
That
either.
one. Was it? Which one was that one?
I don't remember.
It was like a Terminator. Some shit.
Salvation, I think, something like that. No,
I
I
think
think
it was
so.
Salvation.
or
Yeah.
termination.
You know who hasn't had a
Terminator
meltdown?
termination.
You know who hasn't had a meltdown? Hugh Jackman. Shout out to Hugh Jackman for being a fucking gentleman. And
Wait. But is he a method actor or is this an excuse to give praise to Hugh Jackman?
An excuse to give praise to Hugh Jackman because
I respect that.
like look at his social media. Like he's never like pissed off. He's always fucking happy. He does like a lot of fan service. Love that guy. And
then he's
Christian
not a
Bale's
method actor.
destroying careers. Nah, I'm not messing with that,
Traumatizing others for the crap.
bro. He ended that guy's career. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and speaking and actually, and other people like, because there's a lot of people right now, actors right now that have been talking about it and saying what they think it's shit, you know. Because for me, I have always thought it's a little bit stupid for people to do method acting because it's like you're an actor, like you're supposed to pretend that, like, don't. Why are you not stop pretending, you know, to that intense? And because apparently even Robert Pattinson, right, you know, from the awesome fucking latest Batman film, he's quoted on saying to Variety that you only ever see people do method when they're playing an asshole. That's his take.
I mean, I can see that. Like when you really think about it, has there ever been any like non-super intense characters that require, you know, like a method acting? Unless you're like a Jim Carrey or some shit, because I feel like he's stuck around in some roles I've heard.
Well, no,
Maybe
yeah,
like an Ace Ventura.
Jim Carrey did method acting when he did The Man on the Moon when he was playing with Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, and supposedly that kind of sucked.
Yep. A lot of people had complaints on that. No, that's
a
great movie, but yeah, a lot of people hated that. Even him, apparently, Jim Carrey hated afterwards having done that, stayed in the role.
Shit. So maybe there's something to that. And who else? Daniel Day-Lewis. I mean,
maybe.
Like I've heard that he's also like a method actor, but you've never really heard anything crazy about him. Even when they did fucking like Gangs of New York or some shit, which is one of the greatest movies ever made. But yeah, I think there's something to that. People only go full in with shitty characters. But then
I feel like there's a conspiracy to hate on Jared Leto. That's what I think is happening.
Nah,
we're seeing this in real time. The man is timeless, beautiful. He makes pretty good music. For people that don't know, he's also the singer for 30 Seconds to Mars. And I think people just love to hate him, like they love to hate Kim Kardashian or some shit. But again, this is just.
Did you just compare Jared Leto to Kim Kardashian?
Because they're like, you know, they're like
damn
social. You know, Jared Leto doesn't do social media apparently. Like he's like a recluse too. I think he goes on like these like
trips in the woods and shit.
Yeah, where he just disappears for months on end and comes back all fucking looking like Jesus.
Who's more attractive though? Jared Leto or Kim Kardashian? You're Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Damn.
And you see it on full display in Morbius. Like a lot of close he's just there looking great. And I thought he really pulled. Anyway, wait, we're not doing the review yet. Let me stop myself right
hold
here.
up. Before we move on to the news, because you know, Rod's defending Jared Leto quite a bit. I got one last quote that I like this quote a lot because about the method acting, and we'll move on. Is that Matt Mikkelsen? I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. He's the from the Grindelwald, the Fantastic Beasts movies, and he's on
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, actually, from the main bad guy. So he says it's bullshit. But preparation you can take into insanity. Like, what if it's a shit film? He says, what do you think you achieved? Am I impressed that you didn't drop character? You should have dropped it from the beginning. How do you prepare? Woo! He's like, how do you prepare for a serial killer? You're gonna spend 2 years checking it out? And I'm like, that makes sense. Like, so it's like, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
I mean, see, like, yeah, like it depends. Like, it's all about the execution. I think it's all about the execution. It depends on the role. I mean, shit. Isn't that what got Heath Ledger? Oh, as the Joker?
Oh,
wasn't it partially like the method acting?
Yeah, I heard he went method acting hard.
That's a little bit of rumors about that. Yeah, I'm not super sure.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, but and there's boundaries. Exactly. I'm like, there's, you know, I'm fine with whatever artist, whatever artist does, you know, to help them make their craft better. It's good, but let's don't do it in a way that fucks with everybody else, though. You know,
exactly. Like, I mean, that's painfully obvious.
That's the main thing. Man.
And Jared Leto's a bit of a dick. Let's be honest here.
He doesn't do social media. So I'm glad he's not gonna be exposed to all this hate coming at him from the interwebs. He probably hasn't even seen the reviews yet. He's like, oh,
But you know who's not fucking getting hate right now? Disney Plus, because they got the whole Netflix shows now on fucking Disney Plus. That was the next big news piece that we haven't talked about, which is like a month old, I think, at this point. But it's on, man. Have any of you guys started binge watching the shows again?
Not yet, but it's definitely on my to-do list. But from what I've heard, and we had a whole rant about this, like about having fucking like a Disney Plus Max and shit.
Yes.
Like where they have porn. But anyway, moving forward. But they actually, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've heard in The Punisher, like they kept the violence.
Yeah, unedited.
Yes.
Thank
like,
God.
yo. And with that, they introduced parental controls. It's like, you know what I mean? I think Disney's like in this weird identity crisis where like, yo, we could be real because we already have mad money, but then like there's also the concept of more money.
Yeah. And then I mean the lack of straight up violence, I feel like hindered a little bit shows like Hawkeye. Not that we need gratuitous violence, but I like to have
I
the
need
option.
gratuitous violence.
And like for a show like Moon Knight, so I was worried when like a show like Moon Knight was coming to Disney Plus because will they water it down and they're not going to show blood. Thankfully, it's pretty violent, but you know we'll get into that too.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
So I just like the potential that the show's coming to Disney Plus, that it opened up. Okay, we can show hardcore shit, which is what we grew to love with the Netflix verse.
Yeah, so there's just hardcore shit. Like mine went like hardcore porn.
Second time you say porn, I feel like you've been thinking a lot about this pornography.
Listen, man, parental controls. All right.
Come on, Ches. This show's for kids. Come on, man. So
Is it? Is that what we built?
that's the audience.
Jesus Christ. These are
man.
tomorrow's leaders.
Also, another old news point right now, because I think it was a while back we saw the Multiverse of Madness. Was it the Super Bowl commercial or some shit?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Charles Xavier or Patrick Stewart's voice
Right.
in the trailer. So that we haven't talked about that, even though it's kind of old news now. But the fact that they could integrate, you know, some of that Fox X-verse lore into the MCU would be dope as fuck.
Dude, I think that's such a big fucking deal that I can't believe people still aren't talking about it. That moment is so big that it's just evidence of today's like, what have you done for me lately as culture?
No, and what I do, people been talking about that a lot. I think they might have just stopped a little bit now or something, but no, people been really in it. Because it's exciting. Why? Obviously, like it just makes the X-Men fucking films be like the canon to the MCU in a way. And also I'm excited about that. Apparently the big rumor, right, is that that's in the context of them presenting the Illuminati. I'm like, that is fucking bananas, man.
Bro, unpopular opinion. Patrick Stewart, like that Xavier from the Fox films being in this Strange movie is bigger than Endgame. Think about that shit for a second. They're about to introduce an entire.
It depends.
Like,
okay,
you know what I mean? Like,
so you know what's funny? Like, I left Endgame and Infinity War feeling like I just saw the comic book movie industry climax, and it happened all over me. Happened all over us, right? And I'm like, yo, how can they top this? Because another bigger bad guy, more than Thanos. Yay! No, what they did was they're like, okay. What's the next trick? What's the next trick in the bag? Let's start to make it all tie in. Let's bring in nostalgia. Because you know, as big as the Patrick Stewart thing is, they already fucking showed Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the context of the MCU. So it's already like it's out in the open. And now that is just opens up all these possibilities and shit, which is why like the Fantastic Four with Josh Trank wasn't all that bad. Because I could see that terrible Reed, becoming like a Maker type character. Like, Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Fantastic Four and the
Secret
Ultimates,
Wars,
all that shit. So that would be it. Anyway, that'd be really cool shit.
Fucking love that. All right, you all heard that here first. The fucking Trank Reed is going to become the Maker in the MCU. Hell yeah, let's do it.
The other dude could pull it off too. He could be like Dr. Doom or some shit. Anyway.
Dude,
the other dude,
fucking... Just knowing like the Hoover's dam's worth of material that's there with X-Men, and knowing that Disney just got him and seeing that those walls just cracked open. You know what I mean? Like there's no way they're not gonna go whole fucking hog. They probably have so much shit planned out. That's what I'm saying. This moment, like, it's, in my opinion, it honestly is bigger than the Infinity Gauntlet.
No, and actually, I will use, the argument actually Rod had against you, Chess, because I agree it's big,
He's
but
wrong.
I don't think it's as big as Endgame per se, because like Rod said, like when we saw Infinity War and Endgame, that was history, man. Like that was that's not gonna be created again, right? That was the first time we've ever seen that, and
the shock value.
And we just saw the multiverse already because we saw the Spider-Man. So now we know Patrick Stewart. That's why they're showing us Patrick Stewart in a way in the trailer, because it's not like they already showed it. So it's like, yeah, it's exciting, it's good. I don't think it's going to be Endgame level epicness.
The question is, who else is on this alleged
Yes.
Illuminati?
Woo!
That's the because they could potentially be like, who else could they put on that?
The Black Bolt from the Wax show is there.
That's not a terrible idea, because he could be a variant of the actual Black Bolt in the MCU proper.
Look, and if not Black Bolt, I'd be down for Maximus, because Maximus in that Inhuman show was played by that epic guy from Game of Thrones. Yo, I'm like, give him another shot, man. Like that'd be dope, man.
Yo, perfect casting too.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Game of Thrones actors getting into the comic book world. We got that guy as fucking Maximus. We got Jon Snow as Black Knight. Facts. Wait, who's the
Queen of Dragons is gonna be maybe what is she gonna be? A sword?
She might be Abigail Brand in what's the show? A Secret Invasion. Yeah.
Right. And we Aquaman. Like,
yeah, and you're right. We had all the Starks, right? Because at least the two male Starks in the MCU proper, but then the Arya Stark, and I forgot the other girl's name, was Jean Grey, and one of the New Mutants, Wolfsbane. So
yeah, totally.
All the Starks.
That's crazy. Those are smart people.
Yo, but before we move on from that, like, just because I don't think we haven't talked about this, right? So I'm gonna put fucking tinfoil hat. And so about the Illuminati, like who's gonna be on the Illuminati? Let me tell you guys two of the biggest, strong, like rumored ones.
Should we tell people who they are? Like a little bit.
What? The Illuminati?
Because like not everybody might know.
Good point. Right. So the Illuminati are in the Marvel comic books. It's basically this group of the super powered, super smart heroes that joined to basically create the Illuminati, right? Like this, the pyramid with the eye shit.
The actual,
yeah. That leads the world, behind everybody's kind of backs, right? And in the comic books originally, it's Charles Xavier, Tony Stark, Reed Richards, Namor,
Black Bolt,
right? In one of the iterations, the first iteration. Doctor Strange at one point joins as well. Black Panther's also on it. No, Silver Surfer's never on the Illuminati.
He's a defender.
Yeah, he's a defender.
Okay, never mind.
And that's it. I think those are the main ones, right?
All
Rod?
white men like that.
I blanked out a little bit. I was like already speculating in my head on who could be on the MCU Illuminati.
Oh, and Beast is also on it at one point. I think when he swaps with Charles Xavier. Oh, and Captain America was on it for like a minute.
He was salty as fuck, and it was a whole arc, right?
Yeah,
he was mad because he didn't get invited.
Yeah, no, it's
he's always mad at Tony because Tony's too wavy.
Too wavy, man. Shit.
Tony gets invited everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of, all right. So that
he has to get roided up and shit.
So
and wear a flag, like, look at me, I'm special. Come on.
So in the scene in the trailer where we see, a Strange go up to this panel of people that we don't see, where we hear Patrick Stewart's voice, right? If you guys notice, right, he's being escorted by Ultron / Iron Man type robots, right? Into this. So one of the big rumors is that we're gonna have Iron Man be one of the Illuminatis, but the superior Iron Man from it's a Tom Taylor run. He's all in his white suit.
Tom Cruise.
And it's Tom Cruise.
That's Tom Taylor wrote the superior Iron Man?
Yeah, he did.
Shit.
I did not know. Yeah.
Wait, I was kidding about Tom Cruise. Like, it's true or
no? Well, it's a rumor. The big rumor is that it's Tom Cruise as Iron Man in this variant version.
So
if they did that, they win. They win the comic book wars. Like it comes to an end. That's it. Like they won.
All right, let's assume he's on it. That's 2.
Right.
Who else we got?
And the other one I know, the only other one that I've heard a lot about is that we will get a Reed Richards in this, but not the ones you guys have mentioned. You know, that they actually think we're gonna get exposed to John Krasinski, right, from Jim Halpert from The Office as Reed Richards from the multiverse in that panel. What do you? Fuck yes.
All right. So I already got my ticket. I posted it on our shared group thread, and Miguel was like, a month in advance. I'm like, what do you mean a month in advance? The potential for just that scene alone is gonna break the fucking internet, man. Like, okay, that's Reed. That's
I just realized something. What if on this iteration they put Kang?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I just thought about that because we haven't heard jack shit since Loki. He's out there. What if he's part of the Illuminati?
Or Kang, right? Because we're getting proper Kang the Conqueror in the Ant-Man movie and then in Loki season 2, right? And so because technically we didn't get Kang in Loki, we got Immortus, a version of Immortus, and I forgot what was his name, the one at the end or something, right?
And also, if you go back to that episode, I say that he's actually Reed. He's like a Reed Richards, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's the Reed Richards on the Illuminati with that actor's name.
I
forgot. Who knows what that actor's name is?
No, I forgot. COVID. I don't know. I can't.
Excuse me. I just don't remember people's names.
But yes, but those are at least the rumors that I've heard so far a lot. And other than that, you know, so we have Charles Xavier, right? We have this Iron Man version, and then a Reed Richards, and that in and of itself is fucking dope as fuck.
And Wolverine like that, straight up.
Damn,
Hugh Jackman,
Tom Hardy.
Damn. But yeah, dude, that shit is gonna be fucking nuts, dude.
And you know, Neymar is coming out allegedly in the
Black
next Panther, so you could introduce him here if you wanted. Although that'll put him literally on a high pedestal if you introduce him on the Illuminati.
Fuck.
So let's assume that's 4. So
and he was walking, I think, wasn't he? He was walking. I don't think he was like in a wheelchair. I think I remember him like standing up and looking down. So we got a walking Xavier. Like,
well, yeah, in the comic books for a long time, Charles Xavier walked. Actually, currently he walks right now, and so he hasn't been in a wheelchair since like the 90s. I feel like.
Listen, man, Xavier to me is the one from the Fox cartoon in the big yellow thing.
Yeah.
I want to see that
with the blanket. He always had like a little blanket over his thighs.
Shit, facts, yo. It'd be cold out there. Speaking about crazy ass multiverse,
yes.
How was that crazy ass Batgirl movie? Like, where does that reside? Because we also got to look at the new Batgirl, right?
Leslie Grace. Yeah, we actually haven't talked about that either. I don't think, but we got a first look. Yeah, because last episode was all about Morbius, which y'all are now hating on for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, we got a first look, and we've had Leslie Grace as Batgirl / not Barbara Gordon, but her as Batgirl, and then we had some Michael Keaton shots of his Batman. Man, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. No, and we've also gotten clips of Brandon Fraser as Firefly too, who's the villain for the movie. So that's fucking dope. Yeah. And we have J.K. Simmons as fucking Gordon in the movie too. We've seen shots like
see this movie.
Yo, that man is a constant. Yo, this shit is a cartoon. But that's the thing, like, where is this movie? Like, where is it? Like,
allegedly, the next Flash movie is going to be a full Flashpoint event that's going to rearrange the DCEU moving forward. Allegedly, if we ever get this movie, if
it's
Ezra
moving
Miller
forward,
beating up people
in
nightclubs.
Wait, yo, this is a fucking shit show. Wait, so the movie's moving forward, and in it moving forward, we get Man 89. Basically.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a flashpoint where he just fucks with the timeline and shuffles things. And Ben Affleck already said peace. Shout out to Ben Affleck, you're a legend.
But you get what I mean? Like, it's almost like they suck so much at DC when it comes to this shit. Like, they rather go back because of Michael Keaton.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's like
I don't understand.
Yo,
and like we've just been talking about how Marvel's doing that epically, right? Bringing Patrick Stewart back, bringing Tobey Maguire, even Andrew Garfield back, right? Like it's like
everything.
It's everything exactly. I think what's funny is how again right? They wanted to do Avengers film and Justice League, and we got those two comparison now. Multiverse films on Marvel, multiverse films on DC, and obviously
with the
one's more
linchpin
superior.
being the same character on the team, the Flash, Barry Allen and Peter Parker.
Is it Peter Parker? Isn't it like Loki?
What?
On the low, because technically, isn't Spider-Man like the latest one kind of connected to the Loki show in some crazy way? Because he also broke the timeline. That didn't affect Spider-Man at all. I feel like those two things were super big events. You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah, they kind of played. They kind of introduced the whole multiverse fracturing in Loki. Yeah.
Right.
So what happened?
We don't know how they overlap though.
Because that's weird.
Yeah.
So they really shattered everything. Like they said, they broke the timeline, then broke reality. But in my head, I just realized they never really explained how those two. That's like that's like dropping an atomic bomb and a hydrogen bomb on the same place.
But the part that I got keep being confused, and maybe this is why actually, is that in Loki, technically, the argument is that the multiverse doesn't exist, right? That Kang basically funneled everything to one universe, and then it got destroyed, and then the multiverse exists again. But in the Spider-Man movie, the multiverse is a thing. Doctor Strange didn't break the multiverse. Like he broke the MCU universe by bringing multiverse characters in, but they already were in another universe, So it's like maybe so Loki create.
Yeah.
But
the question is
exactly.
did once the MCU launched, because it's getting super geeky right now.
This is quantum string theory.
Yeah, I remember having the same talk about the X-Men movies way back, but when the MCU started, it spawned a new, when DC consolidates their whole universe, with the New 52, and then it breaks it open again. So for that time when the New 52 launched, the multiverse ceased to exist. So Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man did not exist until the multiversal event that once again broke it open. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
I'm following.
So no. So I think it's kind of
it's all ridiculous.
So it's Doctor Strange broke what Loki broke. You get what I mean?
He's cracked open a window and a shit show poured through it. Really.
Exactly. That's what Strange did. Perfect analogy.
But how was it affected by what happened in Loki? I refuse to believe that it didn't affect anything that had to do with that. You know what I'm saying? That's weird.
But here's my thoughts on the Disney Plus shows. They can only do so much that actually matters. For example, all we got, out of honestly,
and I agree with you up until Loki.
All we got out of WandaVision was her new outfit in Doctor Strange.
I dig it.
All we got.
I agree with that.
So you watch 6 episodes to say, oh, now she looks a little different, and Vision's not around.
I agree with that. But in Loki, they broke time.
But I don't feel like you have to watch Loki to watch Spider-Man, and probably not Doctor Strange either.
Oh, I agree with you.
I'm gonna think it's gonna work out.
I agree with you. I'm just saying it's weird that they have back-to-back fucking cataclysms.
Right, but I think what's happening is so we're gonna get super more geeky. Going with what Rod is saying, because I think what happened is that in Loki they created the multiverse. So so they broke into multiple timelines, and space and time got broken into multiple branches. That happened. Who knows? Because remember, they exist outside of time in that place in the Nexus part where they were.
The TSA.
So you can say that happened in the fucking 90s. I don't know whenever, right? Whenever the first Spider-Man film or the X-Men film came out, right? But so for the Spider-Man movie, it's like what Rod said. Doctor Strange just opened the fucking window and let all the fucking multiverse in that Loki created, in the past.
Okay.
That's that's we're assuming a lot of
crazy.
If you're still listening, shout out to you. How about that?
Yo, you learned some shit.
I will just one last thing, one little caveat, little asterisk. I disagree with the WandaVision thing because the other part, apparently, from what we've gotten from the trailers, the newest ones, is that Wanda is perseverating on trying to find her kids. And that it seems that that's kind of what the conflict's gonna be between Strange and Wanda. That Wanda maybe tries to do something with the multiverse to get her kids back that she lost in WandaVision, And so
I was just hating. It was dope. I'm sure it has major implications.
Okay, all right, but is this Batgirl iteration just straight up isolated though? I mean, obviously he's not part of Titans because that Barbara is white, redhead, and in a wheelchair.
Right. No, we'll see. Exactly. It's completely. We'll see. Like Rod says, if we ever get the Flashpoint movie, because that movie Batgirl combines, right, Batman 89, the Snyderverse with J.K. Simmons, and then a new one with Barbara Gordon, Leslie Grace as Barbara Gordon, right, Batgirl. So it's fucking 3 different things that we'll see what fucking happens.
It would be dope though
right.
if I have a quick theory. It would be dope if this takes place on one of those Earths where they're aware of the multiverse. Because you know how, like in
you're asking
the Flash,
too much, man. You're asking
Flash
too much
on
of
the
DC.
CW. Yeah. No, but however, though, they did a good job with that shit on the Flash on the CW. The show had a low budget, but I feel like they handled the multiverse very well.
Right? They're still going.
Yeah, it's still going, but like, isn't it like ending or some shit like soon?
Yeah, the Flash sucks now though. I don't watch that shit anymore.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But their execution of the multiverse is underrated. Because you had like a bunch of Welleses who don't know about the multiverse. Right, then you have some that do. So maybe on this Earth with this like epic ass like Batman 89, because his suit looks mad futuristic and dope. Maybe this is one of the Earths where they know about the multiverse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's possible because that Bruce Wayne is gonna meet Barry Allen in the Flash movie, so he knows that people travel, they jump.
Like, so it's the same.
Oh my god!
Wait. So it's the same Batman 89 that's gonna be in the Flash from this Batgirl movie.
But that's what we think. Exactly. It's pretty safe to assume.
Played a variant. I mean,
it's DC. It's DC.
But either way, put him in that costume, and it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, because if you think about it,
okay, there's real quick. Tim Burton comes back for a 3rd Batman film with him just to finish that trilogy because nostalgia is all the rage, and just play off of that and do like the Dark Knight Returns or some shit like that with fucking Michael Keaton as Batman.
Facts.
Dream project.
Yo, because if you think about it, because if we're applying by some kind of logic here, if that is the same Batman that's going to be in this Batgirl movie and in the Flash movie, that means that epic ass looking Supergirl meets this Batgirl, and we get like a super woke, the world's finest for a second.
Yes.
So you know what? Fine. Like, okay,
very woke, right? Because aren't they both Latina?
Yeah, super woke. Yeah.
They're
woke as fuck.
Yeah, they are. You're right. And the Batgirl's Dominicana too.
Las mejores del mundo.
Yeah. But actually, but
a little bit hard.
But yes. But like the thing with that, it's like, but I hesitate to speculate as much as we can because DC is going for one of our last news pieces, right? Is that DC is going through a lot right now, right? First of all, we mentioned the Ezra Miller fucking craziness shenanigans that he's been doing, that they've been doing with, because like, what was it? So apparently, I was reading about this in the news. So they were in Hawaii, and he ended up beating harassing people, assaulting people at a karaoke bar. And then I don't remember if that was but before that he got like a traffic violation because he himself not in a car stopped traffic in a highway or something in Hawaii. And then he did that thing at the karaoke, and then apparently like a couple that he was friends with or something bailed him out of because he was taken to jail, and he got bailed out, and then apparently he then assaulted them, the couple that got him out.
Fuck.
And then check this out, because I got this from people.com, right? That the complaint about him about harassing the couple is that says that Miller burst into the bedroom of the couple and threatened the alleged male victim by saying, "I will bury you and your slut wife." I'm like, oh my god! and then Ezra stole some of the alleged victims. From Zoom. He's method acting.
Oh shit! Yo, what if he's like the reverse Flash on some CW Flash shit? I am you.
Yo, he's method acting that shit.
They haven't announced who's gonna play like the villain in that movie yet.
Yo, he's method acting.
And if it's Flashpoint, right? It's gonna be reverse Flash. But what if it is like him? Oh. Yeah. because was something that I love is that I feel bad for the couple, but besides threatening them, he apparently also stole the alleged victims' personal belongings, including their social security card,
He's
wallet,
method acting.
passport, driver's license, and bank cards. I'm like, this is $1 million actor. Like, why are
He's
you
bugging.
stealing? Like, what?
Ezra Miller meltdown. I do like his Barry
Facts.
Allen. I'm not gonna lie.
Facts. Yeah, that's it, bro. But too bad that it's over. Somebody else gonna get that role.
Yeah, it was really good, especially when we saw that the Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think that really got me like, all right. This Ezra Miller, although very different Barry Allen, but it was good. But shit, Jesus,
And they
Christ.
won. Yeah, we haven't talked about Will Smith. But they won like most epic moment. I heard. I didn't even watch the Oscars, but the fans voted on the most epic cinematic moment. And I heard there were some heavy hitters in that shit, like Steve Rogers picking up Mjolnir type shit.
Damn.
And the Flash doing that amazingness. Oh man.
Which moment exactly? Like the one where he goes into the Speed Force?
The moment, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That moment, yeah.
Right when the shit hits the fan and then Nightmare and then he starts running, like he puts the hand up like Pa Kent in Man of Steel. The Sonic started on this film.
Yeah,
I'm gonna caution you, gentlemen, right now.
I think I'm due for a rewatch of that shit.
Do it.
All right, and the last thing to mention about so besides Ezra Miller's got this bullshit going on, so and then on the other side, on the corporate side, Warner Brothers and just had its big merger with Discovery. And so now Discovery and Warner Bros. Are one company, and so now there's a new CEO that's in charge of both.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently the new CEO has been quoted on saying, his name is David Zaslav, that he's looking to fucking overhaul the whole DC entertainment stuff that they have.
Oh fuck.
But he wants to do. He said that he wants to have it be more like the Marvel. That he's saying that they may want to find a Kevin Feige, like somebody who has a vision that can kind of make it all be cohesive and have like a brand that's focused, for DC, which is the stuff that we've been talking about, and that they also want to say that they've also want to make more films like Joker, for instance, that they saw how that was a hit and shit, and it was like, well, it makes sense. Yeah, that's one of the best films they've done.
They should just hire Kevin Feige.
Damn,
you think he can have that output?
Damn. Oh,
no, actually, thoughts. What about that? Do you guys think, is it time for maybe Kevin Feige to pass the baton to somebody else at Marvel, and then he should go to kind of like the writers do it and the artists do it in the actual industry, like Jim Lee was at X-Men, right? Yeah. Epically, and then went over to DC exclusively, fucking Batman and all that.
Bendis.
Right.
Long history at Marvel. Then I'm gonna do some DC books.
Yeah.
Or they have to do at fucking, what's it called? What's the name of the new entity? Warner Brothers Discovery.
Yeah, I don't remember. They have a new name too, but I don't remember what it's gonna be called. It's something stupid too.
You know what that reminds me of? When NBC bought Universal or some shit on Conan O'Brien. He used to say it like in some epic way, like NBC Universal, like with an epic sound effect in the back, because it was like a new entity on Earth. But anyway, they should just go to Feige and be like, "Yo, we'll pay you double, raw."
No, double.
Like, yo, like whatever you're getting paid now, just multiply it by 2. Yes or no?
Or give it back to Zack Snyder. Like, although I don't know. I think that's what I would do.
I agree with you.
He would be willing to do it because he's at all these Netflix projects going on.
Yeah, too. I mean, also that would involve eating too much crow. Even for new execs, like I don't think any studio would be like, "Yo, we were this wrong."
Yeah,
bro, the Flash moment, one most epic.
People, man.
Yo, the Snyder cut is infecting the zeitgeist, man. People are gonna see it. They're gonna realize this is it's like the No Way Home and the Snyder cut. There were parallels there. I felt like, I mean, more so with Infinity War Endgame and Zack Snyder's Justice League, but I'm not gonna get it.
We got you go.
Yeah. I can't stop.
But we got one last news piece to share, right, Rod? What is it?
All right, real quick, because we've all really been looking forward to the Gotham Knights game that finally has a release date. We've been waiting forever. They announced it like in Fandom 2020, I think. so it's coming out October 25th, 2022. So,
And I think this was another studio that learned from the Cyberpunk 2077 gaff. I think it was 2077. I forgot the year. It's some epic shit. But yeah, like this game got pushed back for what, like maybe the first or second time, and so did that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Right.
Yep.
Like, so studios are like taking their time and they're learning. Like, yo, just take it the fuck easy. Just make the game correctly, motherfuckers. So I'm actually like, I'm excited. I'm excited to it. I absolutely do not mind. It's just, you know, I hope it means more stuff.
Yeah, I'm always okay with, I think, with the delays, as long, especially like after all the shit that we heard that happened, like with, what was it, Cyberpunk, right? And you know, the games get, you know, if they don't get delayed, if they, you know, because I'm assuming they're getting delayed because they have to get delayed, right? Because
Yeah,
you know, they so I'm okay with that happening, and obviously very excited that we have an official release date for Gotham Knights, because I am ready for us to play.
DC shit is getting delayed in general, because also like the Flash movie got pushed back, Aquaman movie got pushed back to 2023.
didn't Black Adam also get pulled back?
I think that was the only one that didn't, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I didn't know
I'm-
it here, but
I mean, that's just been getting pulled back for years. So I'm assuming like
No, I don't think. I think it was the Flash and Aquaman that were pushed back.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we're still getting Black Adam this year.
yes,
This is fucking
can't
exciting.
wait.
Thanksgiving,
Can't
right? I
fucking
think. Yeah.
Shit.
All right.
All right, now for one of the most one-sided reviews we've ever done. Eventually, we're gonna get to this movie. Rod, plead your case.
I mean, I felt like we should have waited and watched it, because we did a whole episode like warming up the audience to Morbius. I feel like to do all three of them justice, we should have all watched it before we review it. But you guys have already heard, like in the beginning, my general thoughts. I think it didn't deserve the panning that it's getting, and if I'm being quite honest, I don't think the Batman was that much better than Morbius. And
Oh my god.
I know, I walked out of the Batman. I could probably remember a handful of scenes that maybe resonated a little bit, and we already reviewed it. But I feel like this movie, it's also a Batman movie in a way, because Jared Leto's like this vampire guy. He can actually control bats, so he does the whole Dark Knight
and Bat
shit
movie.
where they like fly him around. They don't explain much. It's not an MCU movie. It doesn't have that quality. It's definitely a Sony movie, so expect it to be like between a 5 and a 7, which I think is what you get here.
Damn.
All right, 7's not bad. If it's a 7,
No, maybe like a 6. Because
right.
here's my pitch for this. It's like, you go for Jared Leto, but you stay for Matt Smith as the villain. I didn't even know who the fuck the villain was, because I didn't watch any press for this shit. I maybe watched one of the trailers. I don't know, but I still had to see it just because Jared Leto's the man. And Matt Smith is a pretty good villain in this. Like, he's a cool actor. I never watched Doctor Who, but I hear he's dope in that.
right.
And he's like just like a counter to Jared Leto. He's the superior actor as well. So he adds like some quality with regard to the acting and shit, and a good villain too. I got shades of Blade here, and what was the other one, like Underworld? Remember those movies, the Underworld shit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely
Bad
like
hyper stylized.
this movie is in that vein. So if you found those movies cool, I don't see why you wouldn't find this cool.
Okay.
Fair enough. Do they actually answer like which Spider-Man's universe this shit is in?
Do you guys care about spoilers?
Not at all.
Now
so
when it comes to this,
I didn't expect anything with regard to actual, because I feel like this is like the Disney Plus shows where they can't do too much to fuck up what the Spider-Man movies are doing, because that's delicate shit. Like, don't fuck with our shit. So here's what they do in this one. Post-credit scene. You get 2 post-credit scenes. In the first one, Michael Keaton's Vulture, Toomes, right? Something. Adrian Toomes.
Yeah,
Adrian
Toomes.
He just gets transported to the Morbius verse. And we're assuming Morbius exists in the Venom verse because he references Venom in the movie. It makes sense him and Tom Hardy are gonna meet at some point, whatever. That's Sony's little bubble universe.
Yeah.
So you get Adrian Toomes gets plucked out of the MCU and then goes to the Sony verse.
Yo, but how does that happen?
They don't explain shit.
Nothing. Just go with it.
If I'm being honest, it's a terrible post-credit scene, but at least it connects the Adrian Toomes with Morbius.
But wait,
That's
but
all
they
you
show him coming from through the
Blipping.
multiverse. Oh, blipping, really?
Blip actually means something in the
Right,
MCU, so he has
wait.
a blip. So he just appears.
Shit is messy.
Yeah, because of the Doctor Strange shit. So we see a quick scene of Doctor Strange like shattering that. I mean, he's not shattering, but he's opening up that window into the multiverse. We see that. Then Adrian Toomes like just pop. Adrian Toomes does not exist in the Sonyverse as a character. So you see a news flash, unidentified man identifying himself as Adrian Toomes, randomly appears in a jail cell of all places. And I like that they always. I like that in the MCU movies and in this movie they use the New York One, the legitimate reporters from New York One. I love that, being a New Yorker and shit. So they show the reporters and they say that Adrian Toomes has spontaneously appeared in this universe, and then Adrian Toomes he seeks out Morbius, the other meta in this universe, and then they're like, we should team up. And Morbius is like mad epic with the wind blowing on him and shit. He's like, okay.
Wait, Morbius. I was kind of like blown. That was kind of cool. I think the multiverse thing on No Way Home connects with the movie. But then what's the second post-credit scenes? He goes to look for what now?
Adrian Toomes appears with his full Vulture gear, all the tech, which is so you assume some time has passed. This is the first post-credit scene. Credits roll. Second post-credit scene. He comes in full Vulture garb. He meets.
And is Adrian Toomes a meta?
Nah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. He just gets like tech, Chitauri tech that he then adapts and shit.
He's apparently just like a mechanical genius.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So he's in full uniform and he meets Morbius at this isolated location, and they say, damn, I forgot the fucking dialogue was terrible, but he's like,
we signed the contracts.
No, he says, I hear there's this Spider-Man. Because like Venom at the end of No Way Home, he's like, maybe you should seek this Spider-Man. So they're trying to, you got three guys already curious about the Peter Parker of the Venomverse, which I myself am also very curious about. So,
and we don't know if it's Andrew Garfield or Toby.
It's gonna be Andrew Garfield.
We don't know shit.
Toby's done with that life, yo. Like he had his crazy ass comeback that like OD like gave him like a perfect ending, and then he's done. It's gonna be Andrew Garfield. Watch.
I'm calling Miles Morales.
That'd be cool.
Or Andrew Garfield and Miles Morales.
Well, I don't
Spider-Verse live action,
man, but as long as it's with Marvel though, because I don't trust Sony at all. Because all I got from this too is I feel bad for Michael Keaton, because I feel that he like Marvel was like, all right, in order, like the part of the deal was like for them to do more Spider-Man films together, like all right, we'll give you Michael Keaton. And so
no,
now Sony
dude,
has.
All right, we're not gonna get into this here, but he was Sony off the rip because of the way Homecoming was. The deal was made. He was all they did in Morbius was send him like send back the IP to Sony's film universe.
You're right.
That's what I mean. That's what I take from this, because he like
technically all the Spider-Man related IP, right, intellectual property is both Sony. It was primarily Sony and then shared. So like technically Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio should go over there too. Yeah,
he could, and then you have another member right there, or make Jake Gyllenhaal the blonde Spider-Man, in that Venom verse.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Into the Spider-Verse.
And there's also the Craven movie and shit.
And the Craven also.
All right. What the fuck is happening at DC?
Yeah, that's Morbius for you. The post credits, like the 2 minutes from the post credits drew more conversation than the whole fucking review of the movie.
Dude, I'm fucking hyped. I'm hyped about that after credit scene now.
Yeah, I'm not hyped about the movie, but we'll watch it. We'll watch it and we'll all talk about it again. To get into that. Any other parting thoughts, Rod, of Morbius before we move on?
Nah, I mean, if you chilling, go to Magic Johnson. If you live in New York City, AMC, go watch that shit.
125th, straight up.
I'm curious though to know though, like before we move on to that, like Rod, but why do you think people are hating on it so much though?
Because it's That's a good question. I
It's Jared
think
Leto.
the quality of comic people are really upping the ante. I feel like even the Batman, people are not blowing that up either. Like I just feel like when you have No Way Home and Endgame and I don't know.
Damn,
It's
yo.
not.
It's like we're on
I
10
felt
24/7.
I kind of felt more satisfied from Morbius than Eternals, if I'm being honest.
What? That's
Fuck.
crazy.
Yep.
Okay. All right, everybody, you heard those comments here. If you agree or disagree with Rod, send all your hate mail to legiononzoom@gmail.com or just write to
Facts.
us on
In the
Instagram,
comments.
follow us or Twitter,
DMs.
Legion on Zoom on social media.
Facts. And now, to wash our palate, something we've actually been fucking talking about for a minute. We did a whole episode on it. So so far, there's been a shit ton to unpack here. And I'm talking about motherfucking Moon Knight on Disney Plus.
Woo! I'm actually very excited to talk about this with you guys because we haven't, like, people, if you've been listening to us for a while, you know that we do our best to not chat with each other about stuff until we review, to save it. Hashtag save it for the
Facts.
show. So I'm glad we're doing, because it's a 6-episode series, and so we just finished the 3rd episode this week. So I want to talk with you guys about it. I want to know. I felt like the other day I just asked, like, you guys saw it? You guys liked it? And that's as much as I know.
Yep.
That
We're like, we check in, like, yep.
yeah. All right.
David.
Let's do it.
Do it. The one thing I'll say is, like, I appreciate the fact that they split up, like, the whole concept of, like, Moon Knight and then a Mr. Knight. That was dope as fuck. But before we get there, I noticed that the CGI got better over the course of the episodes. Like, I saw actual improvement per episodes, or maybe it's just me since I'm starting to enjoy it more. Because it started off a little, like, how do I say? It wasn't great at first, but then I feel like it really picked up. And plus, it's Ethan fucking Hawke.
Oh,
Hell yeah, Training Day. Shit was this shit.
Oh, D.
yeah. I don't know about the CGI. I feel like they just use more CGI in the latest episodes than they did in the first ones. But like,
Oh, yeah, but I started to use
pretty
it better,
good.
I feel. I don't know. Like, for some reason, it felt better used.
All right. So let's break it down. So let's start, like, from the first episode. What did you guys think, man, when you guys saw the first fucking Moon Knight? What was your guys' take?
Fuck. Like, I'm not gonna front. I expected just a little bit more violence. It's like I feel like they put a lot more emphasis on, like, how hard he hits to avoid the fact that like he doesn't hit like a lot of people. Like, they use the flash thing they do, like, between Stephen Grant and Mark Spector to, like, kind of like not show the super grotesque scenes. You know what I mean? They found this weird balance on how, like, we'll do like a flash, he'll be covered in some blood, but you technically won't see what happened.
Yeah, I got a little annoyed with that towards the end, I think, of the first episode. It was kind of cool, but then it was annoying because, like, I remember, like, that scene when he's in the cupcake cart, right? And then he switches. Yo, we lost this epic scene where he was, like, another car shooting at him. He had somebody on top of him. It would have been so cool to see all that. And then when it flashed back to Steven's in control of the body again, we see that there's, like, a dead body in the back of the truck that falls off, and then cars go over it, but then it cuts and we don't see the cars going over it. And it's like, like, you know, I'm not saying I want to see that gratuitous violence, but some of it, right?
Hey, keep it gully. What's more, and by that I mean keep it honest. What's more violent, this or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Because we're talking action right here.
I think so far this by a little bit more.
That's
Rod, what do you think, Rod?
I don't know. We got more hours of Falcon and Winter Soldier, so more violence
per hour.
Yeah, per hour violence. So
violence.
I think I saw more violence from them.
How much VPH we got on this show?
Yeah. Some 1990s shit, how they made video games. Mortal Kombat.
Symmetric shit. Get max VPH. Yeah, but so far, like, it's been pretty dope. Like, I just wish, I want to see what like I don't. Okay, do you guys remember that clip that came out of like Oscar Isaac doing like the practice fighting, right? That was like super hyped. I think it's on our page. We posted it. I still like for some reason I haven't gotten that excited about seeing him fight as I did in that clip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same. I thought that exactly when with episode 3 of this week, right? When we see him fighting those guys on the roof, right? That he's trying to get information about where is Amit's tomb or whatever, the dig site.
Yeah.
We saw, I think that's the fight scene he was practicing because he had a knife and he was like tumbling with people. And I was like, oh, it looked cooler in the practice than actually on
I was
the
thinking the
show.
same thing. I was thinking the same exact thing.
What's
up, bro?
I didn't see the training footage you guys are talking about, but that fight scene was dope.
No, it was dope. It was cool.
It was
It's
dope.
like a Oscar Isaac's like Born Identity moment and shit.
Oh yeah, facts. I mean, shit. I would say like the Born Identity moment is when Steven found the bunker. She was just a bag of money, mad passports.
Right,
some
but he means like the action Born Identity.
Oh yeah, fair
moment,
enough.
Like, yeah. Now I will say, like overall though, I do fucking love Oscar Isaac, man. I've been blown away like from episode 1. I like his acting. It's just I love his acting. Even him dealing with realizing that Mark exists, right, and that I just rewatched the first 2 episodes for this show for you guys, right? As for to talk, like when he realizes that he lost fucking days, and he went to dinner and he's like calling the girl and he's like, "What? It's Sunday," and the way he reacts to like it's Sunday, like fuck, and then he decides to eat the steak and he's a vegan and shit. Like I don't know, I love all of that.
He was defeated. He was genuinely defeated.
And I genuinely feel that Mark's a badass too, right? Like, and when he becomes Mark, like it's really a different character.
Bro, I forgot he was vegan, and that made that scene even better. You just made that scene better for me.
Yeah, like that was the point. That like, you know what? Fuck it, man. Like, I don't know.
And because then and when the guy
steak.
Yeah, and then that's why when the guy asks him, like, what cut do you want? He's like kind of crying, and he's like the best one. Like he doesn't know. He's never eaten. He's like, how do you want it done? He's like, he said something stupid, and so then he's like, all right, we'll do well done, and because he doesn't know, and then fucking decides to eat a steak because his fucking life is fucking falling apart. Like he lost days, like what the fuck.
And the funny thing is that like we still don't know like which person created which person. I mean, because I'm starting because both lives they seem kind of established. Like I think he was Mark. Like I think it was that like he was Mark and then created Steven.
No, I feel that they are gonna have it like the books where Mark is the main person and then that Steven is the alter, and that we're gonna get Jake as the other alter, because as you guys noticed, right, in episode
they started
3,
talking about
they were both like, that wasn't me, like what the fuck, who did that? And so it's probably gonna be Jake Lockley, who technically he's more violent and more aggressive, and so he's the one that killed all the other people.
Fuck.
So yeah, so I do think, but it's Mark. I think Mark's still gonna be this because we don't know how developed Steven's life is, right? We don't know if Mark just set him up a job and that kind of stuff, or we don't know.
That's true, because like they never talked about like any history, like him. Like we know that he worked at the museum, but there was no talk of how long he'd been there.
Right.
And we got those like fake weird phone calls that he was making to his mom or some shit.
Right. Which I don't even think it's like, I don't think it's like who knows who he's calling,
Fuck.
And Mark's the one with the history there.
Damn, that's crazy. I am surprised of how much just like raw cunt shoot we got to see.
Yes,
that's episode 3 out of in general.
I feel like in episode 3 we really get to see him.
Oh no,
I love that part.
It was amazing. But what I'm saying is, like, even from the get, they hinted at it, but it's like they just showed it, like, bam, here, cunt shoot. But the thing is, it's also kind of weird how they give us him, but they don't show the other gods. Like, I know they can't show Amit, but we saw the whole, what was it called? Ennead?
Ennead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be what, like, the 9 most powerful of the Egyptian gods.
Yeah, they're gonna save that CGI for the fucking.
You think
second
so?
to last episode, probably.
Yo, you imagine? we get raw straight up.
They're gonna show you their gods. It's gonna be dope. I like I like the first episode. I feel like Oscar Isaac is doing a brilliant job I'm glad that he didn't. I mean, he's done other superhero roles, but nothing MCU. I don't think he's done anything MCU.
Well, he did not
Nah.
MCU. No, not MCU. He did X-Men.
But he was
Okay,
Apocalypse.
yeah. So also, he imagine a fucking Apocalypse
Star
is on
Wars.
the Illuminati. Anyway, so I think he's doing a great job. So much so that he's from New York, Oscar Isaac, or
I believe so.
Yep.
I forgot, and I thought that accent that he did to Stephen Grant was legitimately Oscar Isaac being Oscar Isaac. It's just him fucking just in a role, just completely owning it. And so you get Stephen Grant that whole first episode.
Wait! I just realized he was born in Guatemala. Actually,
Damn.
his full name is
raised?
Oscar. Mira, no, lo voy a decir en español. Oscar Isaac Hernández Estrada.
Damn. He does novelas.
Yo, yeah, his mom's Guatemalan and his dad's Cuban.
Why does he look Filipino?
No, he doesn't look Filipino. Yeah, he looks Latino, dude. Yeah, ¿qué te pasa?
He looks Filipino.
In LoZ the movie, I was like, yo, if there's an LoZ the movie, I got Oscar Isaac playing Miguel.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Ray Fisher, and this film will be directed by Zack Snyder.
Yes. Yes.
It'll be black and white.
Yeah, yeah, no, I guess I'm not sure if he lived in New York, I think, for a bit. I think he went to school in Miami and in New York, so I don't know.
So you don't get Mark Spector until the very end of that episode, and then you get that heavy New York accent, and I fucking loved it. He's like, give me the body, Steven. Like, it's really fucking cool.
Yes.
And then that's when you, at the end, you get the climax. You finally see Moon Knight in all his glory.
Facts.
So obviously, I was sold when the show got announced, the Moon Knight show. I was already sold, but sign me up like forever. Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight.
Yes. And then they split that shit down the middle even further, because in the comics, it's not just that Steve Grant that's Mr. Knight, right? That's also Mark Spector. It's just different iterations of Moon Knight. But now it's that, like, when the suit is summoned, if it's done by Steven, he's Mr. Knight, which is like super dapper with the ill drip, but still all the fucking powers. He just barely knows how to use them. But when it's Mark, he's Moon Knight, like the avatar of Khonshu. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's very, very different. You know, if you're all listening and watching us, obviously go check out our Moon Knight Secret Origins episode. We go into detail about all Moon Knight's history. But yeah, that's that's one of the biggest differences from the comic books to from what we're seeing in the show. And yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty fucking cool. Like,
I enjoy it. Yeah,
the way they do it. Because even, for instance, if you're reading, we recommend highly like the current Moon Knight run by Jed McKay and Alessandro Cappuccio. In that book, you know, Mark Spector, just because we actually haven't seen Steven or Jake in that run. And Mark really he's dressed as Mr. Knight when he's running his mission. And then he's dressed as Moon Knight when he's out fucking kicking ass, you know, and it's just a desired wardrobe change, and that's it.
But like here, it's totally split. It's kind of like, what if Steve Grant had access to all the powers, and so you get to see.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? Like, are we even going to get a third iteration with Jack Lockley? Is there a third iteration of Moon Knight? Because all we know is like those main two.
Well, that'd be cool if that's more of a suit that's more like the comic book, right? Because the main Moon Knight suit that we have right now here, and I actually read that this was confirmed, that Kevin Feige suggested that he wanted a mix of the Universe X Moon Knight suit, which is a very mummy suit, which is, I think, the covers are by like Alex Ross from that run. It's like their Kingdom Come storyline. And with the comic book version. And so that's why they have this kind of mixed version of like the mummy type suit. So, which I like it, but I think it'd be dope to see like a proper fucking like Moon Knight suit.
Yeah, which is kind of close to being like mad tactile, right? Like he has like weapons and like a belt and shit and like a bow staff.
Yeah, and also the version that integrates black. I always like that version.
Yeah.
So shit, dude, like it's possible. They might get ambitious with this shit. I mean, we only have 3 episodes to go, but the pace that they're going to, I feel like I was gonna say step 3, episode 3 really fucking brought it up a notch, because even that part where you also starting to see how powerful Khonshu really is, because
he's like God,
Well, I mean, like there's mad levels to this shit, but then you see like, damn, Like he's a moon god. Like he's like a cosmic god almost, but on a minor scale. But apparently he remembers every night that's ever occurred, like it's part of his lore. So they literally turned back the skies, which I wasn't that impressed with the shit he did with the eclipses. Like, all right, you're the god of the moon. I don't really see how that was a big deal. But the fact that he turned back the skies to how they were maybe 3,000 years ago or some crazy shit, and everyone saw it. It wasn't like it was like an optical illusion. Imagine you see some shit like that happening in real life.
Word. And
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke saw it too. They show him real quick with his James Carradine swag that he's rocking throughout this whole show.
Yes, you're right.
And to me, like that's not even Arthur Harrow, which I think that's the name of the villain.
Right.
That's Ethan Hawke.
Yo, I am loving Ethan Hawke as the villain here, man. Even from the when we get introduced to him with the careful breaking the glass and putting it into his shoes, or the self-flagellation shit, like fuck, man. Yes.
And the crazy shit is, he was like the ex-avatar of Khonshu before Mark Spector.
What? So cool,
dude. The way they're tying everything together is just amazing.
Right. I wonder, do you think he's gonna get like a suit or something if he, unleashes Ahmed or something to fight Moon Knight? He has to, right?
It has to happen.
Yes,
has to happen.
Shit, I mean, could it be one of those? Like, do you think? I mean, it's 3 episodes. Do you think they actually unleash Ahmed, or is it one of those where like they're about to? We get like some shit happens, and then you know what I mean? Like, we think they're gonna go whole hog because there's like a major villain if you think about it.
I hope so. I think it'd be cool if they unleash her and then Moon Knight has to kind of put her back, or something, or that the Ennead maybe helps or something. I don't know.
Facts.
Oh, they're all gonna throw suits on. That'd be cool.
That'd be dope. That's what I want. Yo, like I don't even want to see the other Egyptian gods. Like, fine, I'll take just Khonshu and kind of an obligation. We kind of have to see Ahmed. But if the other avatars put on the suits, if they have them, that'll be sick. That'll be dope.
Man, there's a few Easter eggs I want to mention that so far they've mentioned that kind of connects to some of the things we talked about in the Moon Knight episode. Is like one of the stuff that, we talked about, his dissociative identity disorder, what came first, that or Khonshu touching his brain and his mind. And so in episode 2, I remember it was Arthur Harrow that told Mark told him that, do you think that Khonshu picked you because your mind is so easy to break, or did he pick you because it was broken already?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that line, like, fucking setting it up like that. Like,
that was from the comics also, right? Because
pretty much,
in this new run, I think by the 222 you named, I had read some of it, but I gotta catch up on the rest. Khonshu, I think, straight up says that, like, why do you think I picked you? Because your mind is broken. Like, and by the way, I think isn't that the same dude who does the voice of Optimus Prime? That's doing the voice of Khonshu?
I don't know.
Can we look that up real quick? Because I really have a strong feeling. I have a strong feeling that the dude who does the voice of Optimus Prime also does the voice of Khonshu.
Shit.
Yeah, because it's a really epic sounding voice.
Yes.
And I think it's the same dude that did Optimus Prime for like every single one of the movies.
All right. As Rod is looking that up, the other cool thing, have you guys noticed the QR codes on the episodes?
No.
Yeah, man. If in every episode, well, episode 1 and 2, there's a scene with a QR code. Like you were talking about the Born Identity moment, Ches, when he goes to the the storage unit. Yeah. As he's about to go into the storage unit, there's a QR code there. If you pause the screen and with your cell phone use the QR code reader, you get an access to free Marvel comic Moon Knight comic book.
Oh, that shit! That's crazy. Yo, fucking Feige. I'm assuming that's his idea.
Nah, it's not Optimus Prime.
Shit! Really?
Is F. Murray Abraham.
He sounds so familiar.
He's from Amadeus.
I have never seen that shit.
Me neither, but he's in that.
All right.
Yo, I swore that was Optimus Prime for some reason. Fuck.
No, but I saw like articles Googling that people think it's the same dude, but it's not.
Says you're not alone.
Man.
Yeah, word. I'm not the only one being fooled. Dude, the crazy part about this show is like it is legit almost impossible to predict how the next 3 episodes are gonna go. We have no idea. We have no idea who the fuck.
I think we just predicted it. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's gonna unleash Ahmed. They're all gonna put the suits on, fight him. He's gonna defeat them. The Jake Lockley Moon Knight is gonna wear like a Marvel Universe like authentic costume and defeat Ethan Hawke, and then some cool Marvel tie-in lore after that.
And then some personal drama is gonna play a role too, because with if you guys notice in these last 2 episodes, because we have Layla here, right, who is the Marlene from the comic books that we've talked about. Even if you guys remember in the comic books from when I mentioned Marlene, her dad was killed by Bushmen and the mercenary group that Mark was with, that archaeologist, with that mercenary troop. And so in this, remember, you saw that I think Arthur Harrow was mentioning, like, have you told her about, the stuff about her dad? And so I feel that Mark Spector, that they're going to loop that in, but where she doesn't know this, and she's going to find out that either Mark killed Layla's dad or was involved, or it's going to introduce Bushmen to some kind of way, and either sets up for another season or it's going to fuck up Mark in a way. Something's going to happen with that, but that's going to be revealed in this season for sure.
Yeah, and that actor that appeared in episode 3, that was like the guy that died, right?
Yeah, that guy that passed away. Yeah.
For some reason, I didn't pick that together up until I started watching the episode, because I saw like a dedication to him.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
oh, is that the guy?
Okay, wasn't he in some other epic shit? I think
he was epic though for that one episode.
I remember him playing like another epic role, but you definitely would have seen that dude as like a reoccurring actor had he not passed on the show. He had a vibe. Like the dude randomly just had like a mummy sarcophagus just chilling and shit. Like, and he was getting training and speared and equestrian shit. Those characters always fascinate me. Like those under society, like what's that island from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Oh, Madripoor. And they mentioned that in the
he seems like that guy fucks with Madripoor.
Well, no, he literally mentions Madripoor in the.
Oh,
so
shit.
that's the other big thing that they connect with the broader MCU, because when they're walking onto when Layla and Mark reach that island or wherever they were, that he mentioned something like about like, oh, the thing we did in Madripoor, and so it's like, oh fuck, like, so of course he fucks with Madripoor. Look at all that stolen shit he's got, man. Fucking dope.
Like, I personally wouldn't want to live in Madripoor, but I fucks with people that fucks with Madripoor.
I'd visit Madripoor. I'd go for like a weekend.
Fuck Madripoor. I fuck with the DC version. You get sent to Prisca.
Nah, sent to Prisca to prison.
Wow, shit be going over there, bro.
Yeah,
they make super soldiers. Oh, and the crazy part is, like, in season 3, you start to see that the wife of Mark is starting to feel this dude a little bit, Steven. Because you see, like, when like he's putting together like the hieroglyphics and shit, and he turns, you see her like starting to like observe him with the smile. So it's happening just like in the comics.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Facts. Yes.
Yeah. Oscar Isaac is giving Tom Hiddleston a little bit of run for his money for like best actor in DC plus show.
I mean, shit.
Oh, facts, man.
What do you guys think so far? Should we rate these eps? Because the series is so fucking groundbreaking on the low.
Unofficially, but then when we finally rate it, we can't rate the second half and then average though. No, too much.
No. So tentatively, and then we do one final.
Okay.
Rate.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do right now just tentatively what we're thinking Moon Knight is, and then we'll correct it at the end with the proper final review. All right. So what do we think, fellas?
I say 7.5.
Same.
Oh, 7.5. 7.5. You know what? I'm gonna go with 7.5 as well, fellas.
Damn, look at fucking.
Yeah, it's a solid 7.5.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. I think I would have gone higher, but I feel this last episode left me wanting a little bit more. It was like, I liked it, but there was like, that fight scene was dope, but I wanted more of that fight scene, and I'm gonna rewatch.
He did the cape thing when he jumped. I'm like, that was really cool.
Was
the cape opened up. I'm like, yes.
Was that the only one that was like shocked by like the amount of damage that he could take while he's in the suit?
I was about to say that, like, yo, didn't a spear go through his body?
Many spears
Yo,
went through
that's
them
too
both.
much. Like, that's
Mr.
some
Knight and Moon Knight.
Yo, that's some Wolverine shit. Like, what's that?
So I guess
he's
like when they're in the suit, like they're fully endowed with the power of Khonshu.
I would say he
like
recovers faster than Wolverine.
That's
yeah,
dude. Like that wasn't even a healing factor. The wounds were just non-existent. Just was like the suit is what I'm saying, because like it's not like he gets to use it all the time. So I guess it's like when it's go time, it's like really on 11. Like fuck.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, that's very different. That's not part of the fucking books at all. But you know, that was a trip. I like it. I'm with it though. I'm definitely gonna finish it.
Facts.
Yeah, hell yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, it may even turn out to be the best.
Ooh, took the words out
It
of my
has that
mouth.
potential. Yeah, it has it to
Facts.
be the best Disney Plus show.
I'm already
And-
liking it more than any other Disney Plus show we've seen. You know,
Oh,
so I think,
shucks.
yeah. I think for me, or WandaVision is up there. I remember I love WandaVision, still my favorite out of all.
Loki was valid, bro. Yeah,
Nah,
Loki was
All
Loki.
day.
And yo, we still got Armor Wars. Woo!
That shit coming up.
Yeah,
You know what? To be honest, here I'm gonna say real quick. Like I got time to say this. Looking at where we're at, I'm happy where the MCU is going.
Yes, I am happy with that as well. Been happy with them. They're doing all right. They're doing okay. And
'Cause to be
Kevin
honest-
and Feige, we trust.
Dude, if you would have asked us if we had this podcast when the first Avengers movie came out, we wouldn't have predicted any of this shit. Or everything we would have predicted would have been 100% wrong. Like almost, because it's so much crazy shit. Or even like if we had this podcast during Endgame, you know what I mean? Like, fuck.
Yo,
like,
imagine.
like
That would've
we
been
wouldn't
fun.
be able to predict. Who the fuck would have thought like a Moon Knight show on Disney Plus, OJ? Think of Disney Plus. We would have been like, what?
Yeah, I want a new Warrior show since they're going like into the C-list characters.
But they gotta do it. They gotta do it. Like gritty, you know. And that's. I think that's the only thing I'm not. I want a Disney Plus show to give me that Netflix Daredevil feel, and I still haven't gotten that. You know, even with Moon Knight, it's all right. It's a little more violent, but it's still very Disney. It's still very comical and funny, and the violence is kind of off screen. And I don't know, like
Yeah.
I want Daredevil level.
I kind of felt like they squeezed in funny when Oscar Isaac when Khonshu was speaking through Stephen Grant and in front of all the gods. I'm like, they're trying to make this funny, but it's not. Like,
Yeah,
like the show
almost
doesn't
seemed like a
have
little
to have
painful.
comedy. Like it doesn't have to be funny. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, why do they? That's kind of actually why I like the Eternals, because I felt the Eternals really did try to not do the MCU Disney recipe. You know, they added comedy because they feel like they have to contractually, but like in their own terms. And like exactly like that scene. Why didn't they just make it like the gravitas of the scene? Like you're fucking talking to gods and a god is speaking to you. Make it creepy rather than kind of funny.
I mean,
yeah,
I saw.
man.
I'm not gonna front. I
It
kind
was
of
almost
saw that as kind of.
cringy.
yeah,
I saw it as kind of creepy.
but
Like,
it was
after-
also a little funny.
like I saw what they went for, but then after a while I saw like, damn, like that shit must hurt. Like, because even like the way that Khonshu was speaking was kind of strained. But like I totally agree with you guys 100%.
Like for me, that scene got better once once Oscar stopped acting like he's getting possessed and he was himself. That got better because then they ask him, right? Like, are you broken? You know, or something like that, right? Or are you unwell? They ask, and he's like, yes, I am. But he's like, but that's not the point. He's like, Arthur's still bad, and like, that felt like raw and real, like, and
Facts.
that was good. And none of that, like, yeah, that's. Stop the comedy, people. Stop it. Even I feel like even with the fight, sometimes they try to make it like, oh, look at the fight.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fucking somebody's gonna die. Like, why are we making
Like
fun?
people are dying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But fuck it. I'm still excited.
I like the violence in the show, and also it's not set in New York City, so you can't really get the Netflix vibes because New York City is a big part of that. But I do like where they're going with the violence, though. I feel like they're doing just enough to satisfy me. Like I like when Layla stabs the dude with like the thing. She goes,
Yeah.
that was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Femme fatale.
I can see how much they're not holding back. I can see how much they tried to hold back, and I can see how much they're trying. Like how many risks they're taking. So I'm with it 100%.
Actually,
Go watch
with
that
that,
shit, people.
And with that, also, I think we'll give a shout out to something that's cool because it's not filmed in New York City. It's been filmed in London, and I don't know where else. But it's an Egyptian director who's been filming the show, Mohamed Diab, who's done some other films and something like that. That's pretty fucking cool. I appreciate that.
That is dope.
If you're dealing with
Definitely.
this Egyptian content, it's like, all right, hopefully somebody that may do it at least appropriately
Yeah.
well.
Word, some justice.
So justice.
with the music at the end of the episode.
That was wavy. When he appeared in Egypt, that was dope.
Yes.
I'm hyped.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna go rewatch episode 3 right now. Fuck it.
All right, mofos. Facts. She's great. Deuces. Go watch that shit. I'm hyped. Love it. Love you guys.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Later.